It is the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Orange Shirt Day, as it's also known, and people across this country will be honoring the Indigenous children forced to attend residential schools, some 150,000 of them. One of the ways we'll see a lot today is through ceremonial powwow dance, an expression of spirituality and culture where people don traditional attire, perform dance routines in a sacred circle, reclaim their identity. That's what it's all about. And we're going to meet someone now who was not able to do that for decades upon decades. Starla Starblanket is with me. She's in Edmonton this morning, but I will tell you that she's a residential school survivor. She attended Qu'Appelle Indian Residential School. She is here as my guest this morning in Edmonton for a specific reason, which we'll talk about. But first of all, let me say good morning to Starla and welcome to our program.
Good morning, Heather. Thank you for having me on your show.
It's 6:45 where you are there in Edmonton, Starla. It's very early. National Day for Truth and Reconciliation is just beginning for you. What are your early thoughts as you begin this day?
My first thought this morning is to give thanks to Creator. I am 55 years old. I am a grandmother. I am a mother of 3. And I'm very, very grateful to have survived this long and to be able to reclaim my culture and my identity.
I want to talk
and that's
about
part of what
you're talking about today. I want to talk about that reclamation today. As a survivor of the Qu'Appelle Indian Residential School, we should mention your parents survived as well. And I'm sure there are many, many experiences that we could talk about in detail, but I would like to focus with you, if we could, on the story of what you lost when you were taken as a child, just 7, what you lost as far as your culture and identity at that time.
Being a product of residential school, there wasn't a lot of our own culture and identity that was encouraged. I reflect back on the years prior to my birth where it was illegal in this country for my father and my mother to teach me about my culture and about my rich history that I have in regards to culture, language, ceremony. As a Cree Dakota woman, it was very difficult growing up without that attachment to any kind of prayer. We were not encouraged in residential school at all. It was strictly forbidden. Mm-hmm. I entered residential school around the time where it was less so, but it was also evident that culture and reclamation of that was not encouraged. So it took me almost 50 years to get back to that sacred circle. And at Treaty 4 Powwow of this year, for the first time in 40 plus years, I put that dress back on. I put my regalia back on, and I entered that circle again.
Let's just pause on that. Reclaiming your identity by participating in powwow dancing for the first time in more than 40 years. And that was just 10 days ago, Starla. Stepping into that circle. Well, let's even step back into that. The whole process of, as you said, what you wear. It's so important. The regalia, as you said. Talk about getting ready for that.
One of the first things that you do when you prepare is to braid your hair. And for me, that's usually something that your mother or your grandmother will do for you as you're growing up. With residential school, that connection to our parents, to our siblings, that was broken. So one of the first things that I did to reconnect was have my little sisters braid my hair. And just that simple act of having my hair braided gave me a sense of belonging. When I looked at myself in the mirror that day, I recognized something in myself that I hadn't seen before. And it gave me a lot of pride inside for that child to finally reclaim that. She found a place that she belonged.
A beautiful dress as well, as we look at those images again, and the whole stepping into that sacred circle after more than 40 years. It must have been incredibly powerful. What did you feel in that moment?
I felt a sense of calm. In my early life, I had experienced a lot of brokenness and addictions as a result of residential school. I was able to bring that healing to myself, or bring myself to that healing by stepping back into that circle. Speaking about that dress, that was a very special dress that I had commissioned for myself. That was actually a dress that I was preparing to meet my creator, if you will. That dress was intended to be my outfit that my children would dress me in when I go home to creator. I have a lot of physical difficulties as I age, and I was preparing myself for end of life when something clicked inside of me, and I realized that I wanted to wear that dress. I wanted to step into that circle while I was here, while I was still alive, so that maybe one day I could dance with my daughter. Maybe one day I could dance with my granddaughters. And so it was very important for me to put that dress back on, to braid my hair, and to step back into that circle for the first time. Because when it's their turn, I'll be standing there waiting for them.
Were you able to share that healing with your children, with your grandchildren, by returning to dancing, Starla?
I try. My grandchildren are very small yet. My daughter lives in the US, so we don't have a lot of connection. But it was always my prayer that in this walk that I make every day, that I make footprints deep enough so that my children will be able to follow me, so my grandchildren will know which direction I walked. And it's my wish that they all one day come back and join this circle. I pray every day when our young people and our people that live in the cities, when you hear that drumbeat, when you smell that smudge, we're calling you home. So come home.
That's such an important message to hear, not just for your family, but so widely, obviously, on this day. You're in Edmonton for a very special reason today. What are you going to be doing in terms of spending the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, Starla?
Today I will be helping the Katayak of Achacosacutakopit. That is my home nation, Starblanket Cree Nation. We brought our elders to the national gathering of the elders of Canada, and I will be spending my day helping them enjoy their day, attending the forums on culture and language revitalization, climate control, all these very important issues that we need our elders to step up and give that direction to our leadership. So today I'll be lending our support to our elders as they start to walk towards healing for themselves.
Thank you for inviting us along in your healing journey, Starla, and for sharing what it's meant to step back into that sacred circle. I've appreciated meeting you today.
Thank you, Heather.